Good evening, everybody. This is Vonda Evans, and tonight I want to talk to you about the courage of goodbye. Many times when we think of courage, we think of fighting for something, standing for something, going to battle. We think of being courageous in those terms. But let me tell you, sometimes the greatest courage you can have is the courage of goodbye. You find yourself in a relationship that, was perfect. I mean, something that you wanted. And, you find, you're doing well financially and you married and you have children. And all of a sudden, where you have sacrificed for everything and we've arrived, does it all start to come apart? All of a sudden, a person that you wanted to be with for the rest of your life, every weekend or Friday he got somewhere to go, and as soon as he getting ready, your heart drops because he's going out, and it's a every weekend thing. And you thought, well, when we grow old together, we're going to be doing things and going out and dating and traveling around the world. And the only thing that you find yourself doing is sitting at home waiting for him to come home. And then you say, well, I'm going to start going out too. And, you find yourself being very empty. And all of a sudden, seems like everything that you have tried, it doesn't work anymore. You try to, and, sexy negligee and, his favorite dinner. And, it just doesn't move him the way that it once did. And every time that he leaves and he goes out that door, your heart drops. Or every time he checks his phone and he's got to make a mad dash, you know that you are losing your relationship. And so you fight so hard because you're like, this is what we have is great. I know you, you know me. We are financially have built together. We've had children together. I'm what's good for you. And you are. But he does not recognize that. And time again, what's better, what's right for you, but you just can't seem to do it. See, well, you know what? It's easy to leave. It's easy to walk away. I'm going to fight for my relationship. I'm fighting for marriage. But the thing you find out is that you're fighting alone. Because here's a person who has done everything that they can to not fight for that relationship. And let me tell you something about respect. Respect is like virginity. Once you lose it, you can't get it back. See, once 12 o'clock turns into 3 o'clock a.m., turns to 5 o'clock in the morning, turns into a couple of days later, he's lost respect for you. And he's not going to get it back. And you wonder why. I mean, I'm beautiful, I'm intelligent, I'm educated, I have his children, I make a ton of money, because he doesn't respect you. And when a man or a woman for that does not respect you, ain't nothing you can do, sis. Ain't nothing you can do to get it back. Yeah, maybe he, will stay around for the benefits, but he don't want to be there. And you don't want to let go. Why? Because you're afraid. You're afraid. I don't want to be like my girlfriends who, they don't got no man, and you ain't got one. Your man thinking about being with another woman, and every chance he get, he trying to be with her. You want to create an image of what you have, but every day you dying inside because the love that you had is gone. And you're fighting a losing battle. You say, well, you know what? It's easy to give up, but I'm fighting for my marriage. I'm fighting for my relationship. You ever been on an airplane? And they said, when you are experiencing turbulence and you're traveling with a small child, if you don't save you, you can't help nobody else. And you're dying. When you get ready to go out, you have your little wine and maybe you got to take your sleeping pill. And, you wake up about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, you still ain't there. Then you doze off and come in at 5 if you come in at all. You deserve so much more than that. You deserve so much more than that. Because that person does not respect your boundaries because you don't have none no more. You ain't got no real boundary. You know what I'm saying? It's a minor penalty. It's a minor penalty. I stay out 2 or 3 days. I come home. I let her beat me up, rub on her leg a little bit, and I'm back out doing it again. And it feels just like you want a circus or a rodeo. Sis, let me say this to you. You know what you need to do. Let me tell you what it does. It takes courage to evaluate a relationship objectively and say, you know what? This ain't right. This is not for me. And if I find myself in this relationship this time next year, I have to make a plan of escape. See, it takes courage to have a real talk with you. Me, myself, and I, y'all sit down and talk and say, listen, okay, he don't want to be here. You know, every time I turn around, he trying to check on his phone, slipping down the way everybody know what he doing. I deserve better than that, and God want more for you. But it ain't godly to divorce your husband. It ain't godly to give up on a relationship. It ain't godly for a person, for you to allow a person to mistreat you and disrespect you. That ain't what God built you for. I had a lady to contact me and said, I'm tired of keeping his secrets, but I don't have the courage to leave. I'm older. Don't die where you are, sis. You got a beautiful home. You sacrifice everything to let somebody else have a heart, so you can have a heart attack and somebody else come in and be living that. Girl, listen. In the last quarter of your life, when you get to be over 40 years old, you got to make some real evaluations. And you got to say, listen, this ain't getting no better. And if it keeps going on, I got to go. Because I love you enough to let you go. See, I could take it, but I love you enough to make you a better man. I know I listen, I got tens and everything. I'm fine. I got a nice body. I got money. I'm religious. I got kids. I got it. But I love you enough to let you go. But that ain't godly. God don't make you love him. God said you choose to love me. And if you don't choose to love me, then I'm going to let you choose what you want. You got to let that man suffer the consequences of what he's doing. Oh, and see, it's easy for you to say that because, well, you're a lawyer. Well, it's easy to say that because, you making six figures. It's easy. Let me tell you something. You can't buy a peace of mind. I don't care if you got 10 cents in your damn pocket. You can't buy a peace of mind. And every time that man come in that house and lay up until 8 o'clock, and then he got to run them streets, and he ain't, listen, he ain't working, and when he working is some body pot. It's time to let go. You deserve better than that. And you got to make the choice. You got to have the courage to say, baby, 2 things. I'm going to say goodbye to you because I'm going to teach you to be a better man. When you lose me, you losing the best thing you ever had, but it's going to make you a better man. Why? Because I ain't coming back. I did what I could. I loved you, but I had to choose me. And guess what? That ain't selfish. That's what's right. That's self-preservation. God don't want you crying every night. God don't want you to have to take the Xanax. God don't want you to have to get drunk. God don't want you to be in bondage over a relationship that's been over. God wants you to be free. God wants you to have a peace of mind. Let me tell you something. For you women that say that to me, where you can't, you make 6 figures. Let me tell you something. The God I serve, The land, the world, and the fullness of this belongs to him. See, my God can do miracles. See, my God can supply every need I have if I trust him. My God can. I don't know about y'all, my God can. And if your God can't, you need to start making him God, okay? But your God don't want you to be disrespected. Your God don't want you to not be able to look at yourself. Your God don't want you to live a lie. Your God wants you to be free. Your God don't want you to be bound. And it's courage in making that assessment. It's courage in putting money up aside every month to say, well, if he ain't acting right, I got to go. It's courage to pay your credit card bills off in case you got to use them. It's courage to be able to go and start looking for you a place. And it's courage to put your money up if you got to get a good divorce lawyer so that you can get what you done planted. And it's courage to say goodbye. I know it hurt. You just want to believe maybe today he going to be better. He going to realize, you know what? He going to realize, baby, it ain't going to happen because he's taking you for granted. And he does not respect you. I know you got all the money, you fine, you got that wit, you got that. He don't respect you. And as long as he don't respect you, you're going to continue to get what you got. It ain't nothing you can do until you find the courage to have peace. Where you going? Not where we going, because you know you ain't going nowhere. He going out of town. He going with his friends. He going out 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning. He used to go with you to do that. Now, well, where you going? I'll be right back. Ain't, as my grandmama said, ain't nothing past 12 o'clock but legs and gas stations. Okay? It's time. It's time to do an evaluation. And it's time for you to value you. But I don't want to lose everything I got. What you got? Material things? But you don't have a peace of mind. And not having a peace of mind, you mess around and have a damn stroke. Then that man straight up gonna move another woman in that house and put you in the nursing home. Okay? You gotta live your life for somebody who values your time and your commitment. Somebody to say, what you doing, babe? I just had to thank God for you. I had to thank God for you being the woman that you are. I just love you. I do. One of the things that Sierra's husband Russell says, the greatest fear is for me to have to lose my wife. I fear that. Ain't because she bad, because she got that whip to it, because she fine. It's because he's a man that values her. And you deserve that. Because let me say this to you. It don't get no better. I used to say, well, he gonna grow out of it. Let me tell you something about this. Women get old, men get broke. And the older men get, the more money they get, the more tricks they have, and the more ladies that they end up with. Baby, let me tell you something. Okay, come on, let's stop. Okay, he be 85 years old, talking about, I ready to stop for you, baby. And you be long gone. At some point, you got to make an assessment. With tears in your eyes, you got to say, you know what? I've got to make a decision. Am I going to live the rest of my life bound and hope that one day he just going, man, what happened? Just wake up. Or I'm going to have to make a tough decision and say, with tears in my eyes and in my heart, I got to let you go. I got to let you go, baby, because I want you to be a better man for the next woman. And I got to let you go because I value peace more than I do chaos. I value peace more than I value disrespect. I value peace more than I value you mistreating me any kind of way. You got to make a decision, ladies. And you got to be able to say, one day I got to make the courage of goodbye. Because if you don't, you will die where you are. And I'm not talking about a physical death. I'm talking about an emotional death. I'm talking about a psychological death. I'm talking about where you have no self-esteem, where you looking to get the tummy tuck, the lift, the whip, and it still ain't good enough. I'm talking about living again. When I finally made the decision that I would no longer be bound, it wasn't no bad situation. I was tired of one day we up, the next day we down. One day, I didn't want to live like that. I didn't want to live because I knew God wanted more for me. My fear, obviously, I can't leave. I don't got the money to do it, but I got a God that sits high and looks low. I got a God that's going to make a way. I got a God that ain't going to turn his back on me. So whatever you bringing, guess what? I'm tired and I'm not going to buy it. And I'm going to give you the gift of goodbye, the courage of goodbye. Love you. Have a good evening.